Well, hello everyone. This is Lana McMurray of FreeToThriveCoaching.com, and I'm back with another expert interview series. This time I'm interviewing Stephanie Merchant of The Nutrition Mom, and we're going to be talking about holistic living today. And let me just tell you a little bit about Stephanie. Stephanie Merchant is the founder of The Nutrition Mom. She is a health and a lifestyle coach who offers busy moms simple, healthy solutions. She invites you to join Nutrition Mom Community, or the Nutrition Mom Community, which I hope you're going to tell us about, and learn to put yourself back on your priority list. She teaches you how to improve your health, increase your energy, and decrease stress, and to enjoy life again. And those are very important aspects. So Stephanie, thank you so much for letting me interview you and pick your brain and get wisdom today.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, and as you know, if you guys have been following this series, I have found 12 keys that have enabled me to be able to move from being a habitual people pleaser, or someone who was very much trapped by the opinion of others, to where now I am assertive and an independent thinker, and just a very happy individual. And the 12 keys that I found that were my my tools that helped me to overcome this were choice, only my choice, using my intuition, harnessing and being empowered and knowing how to use my own personal energy, being self-compassionate with myself, and being able to tolerate passion and let life be good, being non-judgmental, and being properly using intention, and organization, being able to have that clarity through organization, having gratitude for everything, and holistic living, which we're going to be talking about today, for me, which is just a whole way of looking at things holistically. So Stephanie, you chose holistic living as the key. I am very interested in knowing more about how you got started in your business and how you use those keys in your personal and your business.
Well, I think every one of those keys is so important, so I really like the way that you have put all of those together. And that alone is a holistic approach. You know, we're not looking at just one little area, it's everything together. For myself, and it's interesting that I'm called the Nutrition Mom, because usually what I tell people is it's really in learning how we nourish ourselves in all ways. So I actually do start with the food usually, and really that's my story. Usually we are our first clients, so I was definitely my first client, and I started to make some changes, and it did actually start with the food. That's what I needed to do. But when I started to make those changes, a whole nother world kind of opened up to me. It's just very interesting. Well, we are what we eat, basically. You know, we hear that all the time.
Yeah, we do.
But it goes so deep because it affects everything.
Yeah.
It doesn't just form our body, it forms our thoughts.
Yeah.
It actually affects the way you think of yourself, the way you treat yourself, the way you think of others, the way you treat others. I mean, it's so big. And when I started making these changes, and of course, you know, my body started changing, and then I realized that I started to get this sense of clarity. And I always tell people the thing about clarity is you don't know you don't have it when you don't have it.
That's right.
So it was very interesting. It's like a fog was lifting, and I started seeing things in this new light, because to be quite honest, I was very much a junk food junkie. And to me it was junk in, junk out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what was happening. I also kind of refer to it as noise, because it kind of just drowned things out, and I was going through the wheels, kind of like the hamster wheel of life, and I wasn't giving things much thought. I was just, you know, going through the motions. And when I started cleaning up my diet and I started getting this sense of clarity, wow, I just kind of started viewing everything a little bit differently.
Oh, yeah.
And for me, that led to a change of careers. I realized that my career was no longer serving me. My heart certainly wasn't in it. It had become much more of a job. And I had this new passion. Like I felt like I had this really great information and I had to share it with people. And people started seeing the changes that I was making. So it started to, open up that avenue to people seeking, just more advice and more information about what I was doing. Well, then I realized I had a passion for that. I really wanted to be able to share that. I wanted that to be my new career. So I decided to look for a nutrition school. That's what I thought that I, was most interested in, and that's what I wanted to do. So when I found that, I had no idea that this nutrition school was actually more about holistic living. And that just opened up a whole nother world for me because, as I work with my clients, we can have a conversation about why you ate the brownie.
Right.
Nothing to do with the brownie. My favorite example is I was talking to this one person who was telling me how she ate this entire bag of Hershey's Hugs. Okay.
Oh, wow.
And we talk. She's beating herself up because she doesn't really want to do that. She doesn't understand why she did it. And she sat down and she ate the whole bag. And so we go through this whole process. What she really needed was a hug.
Oh.
I love that example because Hershey Hugs. But so you really have to realize that it's not always just about the food. I always say it's not about food choices, it's really about life choices because it's so much more than that. But sometimes that is our avenue to change as it was with me.
Well, there's one thing I'm curious about. What was your favorite junk food? But you were saying noise, how this is like noise.
Yes, yes. It was because to me, it drowned out real life. I don't know. It's just like I was living in a bubble, and I was just, it was just junk in and it was junk out. I didn't think about things like I think about things so differently now. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned before we even started the interview that as the nutrition mom, I don't just focus on kids. I really focus on mom, and that's because that's where it begins. Yeah. A lot of people come to me and they'll say, "Oh, I need this help. My child has these allergies, or they've been diagnosed with ADD or whatever," and that's important, and we're going to get to that. And we're going to be able to help those issues, but I start with mom.
Really?
And sometimes that surprises them because they're like, "Oh, well, that's not why I came." But everything starts with you. We have to wrap your head around this, and then when you start making these changes for yourself, because you can't make changes for the child alone, it really is changes for the entire family.
Right.
And when you start making these changes for yourself, it's the ripple effect in motion. And those positive changes that you're making now for yourself start to happen in your family. And for me, what I even saw was it was going outside of my family. So I made the changes for me.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And then, and then changes started happening inside my house, inside my home with my family. And then it started happening to my friends or people that I knew. Mm-hmm. And, and I see that with everybody, every client that I work with. Whether they have that family setting at home and they start seeing those changes, or their friends, or their co-workers. Mm-hmm. We are all so important. We are all so important, and every choice we make doesn't just affect us. Yeah. And that was one of the things that really, when I kind of hit my rock bottom, was when I realized that my choices were no longer just affecting me. It was affecting my kids. It was affecting my husband. So that's a big realization. And sometimes we get that little kick in the booty, to go, okay, this is bigger than me. This is big.
Well, with this day and age of ADHD, but now with the autism,
yes,
with a lot of that focus on the kids that are really inward, I I think that's very fascinating how like a parent will come to you and be referencing their child, and then you would start with the parent.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And sometimes that doesn't go over so good.
I would imagine if you have those ones that are like, fix them.
It's just because we can't look at that one issue. It's
Right.
just it's a bigger issue.
But that's showing
And
integrity. That's
mhm.
being in integrity. Doing
Yes,
that.
that's very true. That's very true. And it's just very difficult to. Well, you just can't. You can't make changes for one without making changes for all. And what I usually tell people when they come to me and they go, "Oh no, this sensitivity, this allergy, whatever," and the children may be upset about it, or the parent is thinking this is going to be so difficult. The truth is, the things that I lead them away from, and the changes that we're going to make are very positive changes. So the truth is, they may be more sensitive to those things where outwardly you can see it,
Wow.
but inwardly, everybody should be moving away from these things. So if you can almost look at it like it's a positive,
Yeah.
because it's more obvious to you that your body is actually able to communicate that with you better, because it's letting you know these things are no longer serving you. This is not good. Instead of waiting until you're 65, 70 years old, when your body finally says, I can't handle this anymore, I've been trying to deal with this for a long time. So, it's a lot of mindset, too.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a lot of mindset.
Absolutely. Now, do you have any specific stages that you take anyone through? I see that niche in how you work. Are there any like common stages that you take them through when you're working with a parent of let's say ADHD, or what's your prime target of a type of client that comes to you?
Really busy moms.
Okay. Well,
busy moms. I mentioned that about the children just because you and I kind of touched on that beforehand. And, certainly that seems to be more of an issue because there are more allergies, there are more sensitivities and things like that. My focus is mom. And my focus is busy mom, because we're all busy, And my client is me. That's who I reach out to. That's who I want to help. Certainly I can help more than that. I've had men come to me before too.
Or they could be moms.
That's fine. I love to help everybody, but I have a heart for busy moms.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there. I'm still there. I live it every day. I'm right there with you. So I understand the struggles. And where do we begin? I like to begin with the food, and we really just focus on our first step is awareness of where we are, because we always start where we are, okay? And then we start making those moves towards just cleaner choices. But, to be quite honest, when I started out, people would refer to Whole Foods, and not the store, but Whole Foods, and I didn't know
what those were.
It's between what I'm eating and Whole Foods. I didn't understand that. So it's just really evaluating where we are, where we want to go. We want to know what your goal is, and then we start taking those baby steps to get there. I never try to make anybody change 100%.
Oh my gosh.
If this doesn't work, there's that rebound.
And that subconscious will kick in.
The easiest thing to do back into old habits. So we build new habits, and we take it slow, and we build on our successes. We celebrate our successes, and we keep moving forward towards that ultimate goal. But really, I always say it's about progression. It's not about perfection, of course.
Very good.
And I'm still on my journey.
Right.
There's no real destination, because I think that we just continually improve. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So, do you have anything special that you would like to share that you've got going on right now that pertains to anything you're doing in your business specifically, or?
Well, I just started. Actually, yesterday was our first day. I have a renewed cleanse. What I've done is, I really was filling up my practice as much as I could, working on one-on-ones.
Right.
But I'm a busy mom,
Right.
and I actually try to keep my work hours while my kids are in school. That just helps me maintain some balance. But what I decided is that I was having so many people reach out to me that I wanted to help, and I was seeing some things in common. Some people requesting the same things, that I've been able to package a few things to try to help with those needs. So one thing that we just actually started yesterday was a cleanse, and that can kind of sound scary. People talk about cleanses and detoxes and all that stuff, but really what it is it's really like fast track clean eating. It's like clean eating 101.
Okay.
And we spend 3 weeks and we focus on cleaning up our diet. And again, that's that awareness of where we are, what we need to move away from. And then I just give them videos and recipes and all kinds of great stuff.
Wow. Okay.
For the foods that we want to start incorporating. And with me, it's like 5-minute meals. That I don't want anybody to be stressed about it or think that they can't do
So
it.
you give them recipes?
Oh, yes, recipes, and I even have videos to show them how to do it.
What?
And I'm telling you, it's 5-minute meals. 5-minute meals. And again, people hear cleanse and detox, and they think weird things. This is just real food. This is no supplements, no special shakes you have to buy. It's nothing like that.
Real tasty food your palate is used to eating. You can get it at the grocery store.
Oh, you get it at the grocery store, the farmer's market, and your taste buds come alive. I mean, they really do. It's just amazing. Once you start eating real food, your body starts to crave it. And it's so magical to watch that transition, because at first people are like, oh, because they're not used to it. It's just like, oh, I don't know, da, da, da. And then towards the end of our time together, which is only 3 weeks, I mean, it's, we're very focused. I call it simple but profound. It's really, it's a simple idea, but the results are just profound. So anyway, that's one thing that I have going on, and I actually offer that live. It's virtual, it's on the computer, but I'm leading them along the way. I usually do that once a season, so this is our New Year cleanse, but I also have packaged that up where if the time that I offer it isn't good, people can do that whenever it is good.
Oh, that's awesome. It's like an evergreen. Okay.
Yeah. And then the second thing that I wanted to mention is, because this is new for this year too, and I'm really excited about it, but some of my moms, when they would finish the programs, and, they would keep that momentum going, but they would say, I wish that there was some kind of maintenance program, or I wish that if there was a next step, because life happens and things get busy, and, sometimes it's just nice to have that extra support and accountability. And so I heard that a few times, and I just thought, let's do it. So I opened up something that's called the Inner Circle.
Oh, yeah.
And we just have our own forum. And again, I share recipes, and we have expert interviews, kind of like what you're doing.
Yeah.
Once a month we have an expert interview, and once a month we have it's called a Real Mom Inspiration. And it's just a real mom who's doing extraordinary things, just very inspiring. And so we share our goals with each other, we support one another, and we hold each other accountable. Sometimes we need that.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the two things that are just immediately going on right now that I'm really excited about.
Wow. Well, those are really awesome. So tell me, what can someone expect to gain from each of these?
Well, it'll change your life. I mean, for me, it's just funny. What clean eating did for me was it made me leave this position, this job that was no longer serving me. I have a brand new career, which I am extremely passionate about. I ended up losing 50 pounds.
Wow.
My husband ended up losing 50 pounds, so that's 100 pounds between us. Where I found my new career, he actually found his inner athlete. So he went from a couch potato
Wow.
to running marathons, and now he does triathlons. What can change for you? Everything can change for you. What you expect, you can expect a whole new life. A whole new life. It's amazing.
That's really key to holistic living, because just by shedding those 50 pounds, weight around your midsection can lead to diabetes and heart disease. The debilitating diseases that will interfere with family life or just with you being able to do more. Absolutely. So I can see how you use nutrition, but it's really like getting into the individual, getting into their psyche, their mindset, and shifting the way that they observe their life, and then putting the chemicals, or the like the neurotransmitters, or the way that the food functions in the body to help those thought processes and synapses, and help you to be a lot sharper, brighter. It's really nice what you're doing. I like it.
It's amazing. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. And what you're discussing, that's the profound part. So when I say it's simple but profound, it really is. It really is just making cleaner food choices.
Yeah.
It's amazing what can happen. And what you said about the diabetes and everything, my dad passed away at 39.
Mine
of
too.
heart disease. Yeah. My mom has high blood pressure.
Well, not 39, but of diabetes, my dad.
Diabetes. And then my mom has high blood pressure and diabetes. And I have absolutely no doubt that's where I was headed. There's no question. That's exactly what was going to happen. So, there's a doctor here locally. I'm in Houston, and he's a cardiologist, and I adore him. And one of the things that he says is that families pass down disease more through their recipes than through their genes.
Wow. I have never heard that before.
It's true.
That's a tweetable.
That is powerful. That is powerful. So we do have control. We're not a victim. We have control over our destiny.
Yeah.
And I want to empower.
You do have choice over that. Yes, you do.
We have a choice. Mm-hmm. And we can be empowered with that. And that's very important, to be empowered for ourselves and to show our children as well. It's we have a choice. We make choices every day that affect that.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's awesome information you're sharing. Anything else you'd like to add?
Oh, well, I do try to share videos. Okay. So if people want to, I call them Time For You Tuesday, but I do try to share recipes, but again, I don't limit myself to recipes. So you might just hear words of wisdom or an inspirational quote, just motivation, to keep people going. That's really what I like to share. But definitely, I might share my new kitchen tool with you as well,
Oh, yeah. And
I invite people. I do have a YouTube channel. It's Nutrition Mom. So I invite everybody there. And my Facebook page is extremely active. I would love to see you there. I'm on there all the time chatting with people. So, yes, I just love to connect. I love to connect with people. So I hope to see everybody there.
Okay. And you've given me all of your links. So yes. I'm going to be sharing those as well. So how would you prefer people get in touch with you? Through your website?
My website is great. Yeah, nutritionmom.net, and all the information will be there for everything else. Yes, all my videos are there, all the programs are there, my before and after pictures and my story are there. So, yes, that would be great.
And, there is one question I wanted to ask you. What do you define as a busy mom?
I'm not sure that there's not a busy mom. I think if you're a mom, you're pretty busy.
Yeah.
Whether it be you work at home or you work outside of the home, life is busy these days. Yeah. The multitasking, the after-school activities or the volunteer activities, and I've done it all. I've been a stay-at-home mom. I've been a work, at the office mom. Right now I'm an entrepreneur who works at home. I've been everything, and I can't say that one is busier than the other. Each one has its, they all need attention. And our children, our poor little children, they're so overscheduled these days, and, they have all their homework, and then, we all try to get them involved in different things for after school activities, and busy moms. Everybody's a busy mom. You try to fit, your dinner in that. And unfortunately, before I started to make my changes, food was almost an afterthought. It was almost more important to get to the activities than it was to think about what we were going to be nourishing ourselves with that night.
Fuel to live.
It's a mind shift. And so now it's much more important to me to find that time to sit around the table and to have that connection, and to also have that real food, that's nourishing us, so that we can have those other things going on in our life. But what is a busy mom? I'm not sure that I've ever met a mom that doesn't fit that criteria.
So, certainly anyone can see that working with you would be a very wise choice, because they would be able to enhance their life in such a way to where it doesn't just affect themselves, but it affects, like you said, everyone else around. So I want to thank you so much for letting me interview you so that we could get to know you more. And thank you for sharing your insights. And you have on your website, you've got access to how to get those videos you talked about. I even want to take a look at those now, especially the 5-minute recipes. That would be really good right now for what I'm going through with all this moving and changing and all this cleaning, because the chemicals that you smell from the cleaning, I would love to move more towards the holistic cleaning side. But Stephanie, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, and look forward to hearing more from you.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. I loved it.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.